close your eyes for a moment, feel your breath, and now, imagine speaking to the universe, not with words, but with the very vibration of your soul. What if I told you, the universe never truly hears what you say, but always responds to what you are? This is the hidden frequency behind your words, the mystery that has confused so many. Why do we speak, affirm, declare our desires, and still feel unheard? It's because the universe is not a listener of sound. It's a mirror of resonance. You can say, I am abundant, but if your nervous system is pulsing with fear, if your gut holds the grip of scarcity, if your heart vibrates with doubt and urgency, then your words become like echoes in an empty room, sound without signal. This is not punishment. This is spiritual physics. The quantum field doesn't interpret vocabulary. It translates vibration. It decodes the energy between your words, the trembling in your voice, the hope buried under anxiety, the identity speaking through your cells. So many of us were taught that manifesting means asking with faith. But faith isn't a thought. It's coherence. It's when your emotion, your intention, and your identity sing the same frequency. Only then does the field begin to move. Because when you speak with your soul, not your mind, the universe doesn't just hear you, it becomes you. And this brings us to something delicate, almost uncomfortable. What happens when our spiritual practices, our affirmations, our mantras, start to lose their power? What happens when the sacred becomes mechanical? Have you ever found yourself repeating the same words over and over? I am love. I am abundant. I am light. But inside, something feels absent. Your heart doesn't move. Your breath stays shallow. The words fall from your lips, but your soul remains silent. This is the illusion of repetition. When spiritual practice becomes a mental habit, not a vibrational presence, the mind loves to repeat. It believes that if it says something enough times, reality will shift. But the universe doesn't count words. It listens to energy. It listens to how deeply you feel the truth you're trying to say. Neuroscience reveals that the brain goes into autopilot when we repeat things without emotion. The limbic system, the emotional core, stays untouched. So you may chant a mantra 1,000 times, but without emotional charge, it becomes a whisper in a void, a sound that never reaches the field. Spiritual energy does not recognize memorized phrases. It responds to emotional coherence. True manifestation begins when every layer of your being speaks the same language. Thought, heart, and body aligned in one vibration. When you say, I am peace, and your nervous system softens. When you declare, I am worthy of love, and your cells believe you, that's when the universe listens. Without this inner harmony, repetition becomes noise. Noise the universe hears, but cannot translate. It's like singing a sacred song without melody. The intention is lost, and the sound dissolves. So maybe it's not about saying more. Maybe it's about saying less, but with more soul, more presence, more surrender, more truth. Because no affirmation is more powerful than the one born from sacred silence. And speaking of silence, have you ever wondered why? Sometimes it feels like the universe goes quiet. You ask for signs, clarity, movement, but what comes back is stillness, an absence, a sacred pause. And then there's a silence. You've spoken your desires. You aligned your heart, your breath, your body. You've surrendered with devotion. And yet nothing, no sign, no shift, no whisper from the universe. But what if the silence is the response? What if the stillness is not absence, but alignment in progress? The universe isn't ignoring you. It's inviting you deeper, into yourself, into the space between asking and receiving. A sacred space where your identity dissolves and your soul begins to speak. Sometimes, the universe does not say yes. It doesn't say no. It says, wait. Not because you're unworthy, but because there's a misalignment between your soul's true intention and the ego's immediate desire. The universe teaches through delay. through pause, through silence that echoes in every room of your being, asking you not to shout louder, but to listen softer. And in that quiet, you start to hear things you were too loud to notice. The tightness in your chest, the tension behind your smile, the fear hidden inside your wish. Silence reveals what sound often hides. It is the doorway to reconnection. Because only in stillness can the soul realign, not with what you think you want, but with what your essence came here to become. And when that alignment happens, you don't need to force. You don't need to chase. You don't even need to ask. The universe responds to who you are becoming, which leads us to one final, sacred truth. Speaking to the universe is not about words or silence or even intention alone. It's about becoming the frequency of what you seek, becoming the reflection you wish to see. You are standing in front of a mirror, but this mirror does not reflect your face. It reflects your state of being. This is the universe. It doesn't respond like a person. It doesn't negotiate with your words. It reflects you quietly, precisely, lovingly. When you speak to the universe, it listens through vibration and reflects back your internal truth. If inside you there is chaos, but on the surface you speak peace, the reflection will not lie to make you feel better. It will return what is real, because the universe is not here to please your ego. It is here to evolve your soul. You see, manifestation is not about getting what you want. It's about becoming what you desire. Until your presence, your energy, your emotional frequency is indistinguishable from the thing you once asked for. You want love? Be the frequency of love. You want abundance? Become the vibration of receiving. This is not magic. It's resonance. It's the sacred science behind creation. As Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches, your electromagnetic field is constantly broadcasting who you are, not who you say you are, not who you pretend to be, but who you are in coherence. When desire and belief are fragmented, when you speak of joy but expect pain, the mirror shows distortion. The field returns confusion, and so your reality feels inconsistent. But when desire becomes identity, when your actions match your words, your thoughts match your feelings, and your soul breathes in rhythm with your body, that's when the mirror becomes clear. That's when the universe stops reflecting back and starts flowing through you, because in that moment, you are no longer speaking to the universe. You are being the universe speaking. If your words haven't brought change, perhaps it's time to shift the language, not to speak louder, but to feel deeper, to embody the vibration, to become the frequency, because the universe has never stopped listening. It's only waiting for you to remember who you really are.